IELTS Speaking Part 1. Media. Question 1. Where do you usually get your news? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I usually get my news from apps on my smartphone. Sometimes, I also watch the morning TV news here in Japan while I am eating breakfast. It is a very fast way to know what is happening. Band 7 answer. I mostly rely on news apps and social media feeds on my phone to stay updated. Occasionally, I'll catch the local morning broadcasts in Japan while having breakfast just to see what's going on around the country. Band 8 answer. I'm pretty much glued to my smartphone for updates, constantly scrolling through various news aggregator apps. Every now and then, I'll catch the morning TV broadcasts here in Japan just to stay in the loop with local events over breakfast. Question 2. Do you prefer reading news online or in a newspaper? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I definitely prefer reading online. Newspapers are too big to read on the crowded trains in Japan. Reading on my phone is much easier and saves a lot of paper. Band 7 answer. I definitely lean towards reading news online purely because of the convenience. Trying to unfold a massive newspaper on a packed commuter train in Japan is a nightmare, so scrolling on my phone makes much more sense. Band 8 answer. I'm totally on board with digital news simply for the sake of convenience. Wrestling with a bulky broadsheet on a crammed Tokyo commuter train is a massive hassle, so getting real-time updates directly on my phone is just an absolute no-brainer. Question 3. Do you think everything you see in the media is true? Model answer. Band 6 answer. No, I don't believe everything. There is a lot of fake news on the internet these days. We always need to be careful and check if the information is correct. Band 7 answer. Not at all, since fake news spreads incredibly fast online nowadays. You really have to take things with a grain of salt and double-check the facts before believing whatever pops up on your feed. Band 8 answer. Absolutely not, especially given how quickly misinformation goes viral on social platforms these days. I always make it a point to take sensational headlines with a massive grain of salt and cross-reference the facts before buying into the narrative. Question 4. Do you like sharing your life on social media? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I like sharing photos with my close friends, but not with everyone. For example, I sometimes post pictures of delicious Japanese food or places I travel to. I like keeping my life private. Band 7 answer. I only really share updates with my inner circle of friends rather than posting publicly. I occasionally put up pictures of cool cafes or travel spots around Japan, but I prefer keeping my personal life pretty low-key. Band 8 answer. I'm quite selective and only share bits and pieces of my life with a tight-knit group of friends. While I do occasionally post snaps of hidden cafes or weekend getaways across Japan, I heavily prioritize my privacy and prefer to keep things largely under wraps. IELTS Speaking Part 2. Social Media. Describe your favorite social media site or app. You should say what it is, how long you have used it, what you use it for, and explain why it is your favorite. You have 1 minute to prepare. You have 2 minutes to talk. Model answer. Band 6 answer. I want to talk about Instagram, which is definitely my favorite app on my phone. I downloaded it many years ago when I was a university student, and I have used it almost every day since then. I mainly use it to look at photos and videos from my friends. Also, in Japan, many people use Instagram to find good cafes or restaurants. If I want to eat somewhere new in Tokyo, I always search for pictures on this app first. I also like to post photos when I go traveling to places like Kyoto. It is my favorite app because it is very visual and easy to use. I don't have to read long texts, I just look at beautiful pictures. It makes me feel connected to my friends, even if we are too busy to meet in person. Band 7 answer. If I had to pick the one app I use the most, it would absolutely be Instagram. I've had an active account for quite a few years now, probably ever since I started my first job here in Tokyo. My primary use for it is keeping up with my friends, but it's actually much more than that. Here in Japan, it has basically become my main search engine. Whenever I want to check out a new restaurant or find a hidden cafe, looking at real photos on Instagram is way more reliable than reading text reviews on websites. Apart from searching for places, I love using it as a personal digital diary. Whenever I go on a weekend trip, I usually upload a few quick stories to share my experiences. It's a fantastic way to document my memories. Ultimately, the main reason it's my favorite platform is its visual nature. Instead of reading long, boring posts, I can just effortlessly scroll through engaging images and videos. It's a highly convenient way to stay in touch with people's lives without needing to text them all the time. Band 8 answer. Without a doubt, the one digital platform I simply couldn't live without is Instagram. I've been a fairly avid user for years, pretty much ever since smartphones became an everyday essential for all of us. While staying connected with my social circle is the main draw, it has effectively morphed into my ultimate search engine. Over here in Japan, utilizing Instagram to scope out the aesthetics of trendy cafes or pop-up stores has entirely replaced traditional web searching for me. Seeing real-time, unfiltered photos gives me a much better vibe of a place than a standard review ever could. Beyond that, it serves as a brilliant digital scrapbook. Whenever I head out on a weekend getaway, I absolutely love posting quick stories or a casual photo dump. It's an incredibly seamless way to capture fleeting moments and share them with my inner circle without making a big fuss. At the end of the day, what cements its spot as my favorite app is how it completely spares me from slogging through heavy text. I can just casually soak in the highlights of people's lives through captivating visuals. It's a fantastic tool to keep my finger on the pulse of what my friends are up to, even when we're all completely swamped with work. IELTS Speaking Part 3. Social Media. Question 1. How has social media changed the way people communicate? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I think it has made communication much faster. In the past, people wrote letters, but now we can send a message and get an answer immediately. Also, we can share photos to show our friends what we are doing. Band 7 answer. It has completely revolutionized our daily interactions. Instead of writing letters or making phone calls, we can instantly text anyone around the world. On top of that, constantly sharing photos and videos keeps us closely connected to our friends' lives. Band 8 answer. It has undeniably flipped human interaction on its head. Instead of relying on traditional phone calls, we can effortlessly shoot a text to anyone across the globe in real time. Consequently, distance is no longer a barrier, though some might argue it has made face-to-face conversations a bit of a lost art. Question 2. Do you think people spend too much time on social media? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, definitely. Many people look at their phones all day, even when they are eating dinner with friends. I think it is a bad habit because they forget to talk to the people around them. Band 7 answer. Oh, absolutely. It's quite common to see folks constantly scrolling through their feeds, even while having dinner with friends. As a result, genuine, in-person conversations are becoming rare, which is a bit of a shame. Band 8 answer. Without a shadow of a doubt. We've reached a point where folks are practically glued to their screens, mindlessly scrolling through their feeds even in the middle of a social gathering. Sadly, this constant need to be plugged in is definitely taking a heavy toll on our real-world, interpersonal relationships. Question 3. What are the negative impacts of social media on young people? Model answer. Band 6 answer. One big problem is cyberbullying. Bad people can say mean things online and hide their names. Furthermore, young people compare themselves to beautiful photos online and feel sad about their own lives. Band 7 answer. A major issue is definitely cyberbullying, as people can easily hide behind anonymous profiles to leave hurtful comments. Furthermore, teenagers constantly compare themselves to the perfect lives they see online, which can seriously damage their self-esteem. Band 8 answer. A glaring issue right off the bat is the rise of cyberbullying, given how easily trolls can hide behind anonymous profiles to wreak havoc. Furthermore, teenagers are constantly bombarded with heavily curated highlight reels of other people's lives. Consequently, this toxic comparison culture can severely tank their self-esteem. Question 4. Do you think traditional media, like newspapers and TV, will disappear in the future? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I don't think they will disappear completely, but fewer people will use them. Older people still like to read newspapers and watch TV. However, young people will only get news from the internet. Band 7 answer. I highly doubt they'll vanish completely, but their influence is definitely shrinking. While the older generation still prefers watching the evening news or reading paperbacks, younger folks get everything online. Therefore, traditional media will likely become a niche market. Band 8 answer. I seriously doubt they'll go completely extinct, but they are undeniably taking a backseat to digital platforms. While older demographics still cling to the daily ritual of reading a broadsheet or watching the evening broadcast, younger generations get all their updates online. So, while not dead, traditional media is definitely being phased out of the mainstream.
Congrats on making it to the end of this video, and kudos to you if you did all that practice. You are amazing. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and you can also add my official LINE account that's in the profile. And if you do this, then I can send you a free phrases guide that you can use for your practice. All right, happy studying!